We're talking high power today. Let's get after it. Welcome to the Hideout, and today we're going to talk about the high power. And I don't mean big bullet, I'm talking about capacity. The original Browning high power, the new FN high power, and the Springfield high power. We're going to talk about them all. But before we get started, let's cover a few things. You guys know I don't have a sponsor. What you don't know is I probably need to clarify with you, I don't want a sponsor. And the reason I don't want a sponsor, I don't want anybody twisting my arm to tell me what I think is good and what I think is bad. It's my opinion. That's what you get. If you don't like it, pucker up. But what I do need to say is I got a boy out there named Sean and his youngin named Leighton who have, and I'm going to read this because I owe it to them. I don't want to screw it up. Front Range Firearm Repair and Maintenance LLC. Now I'm going to put a link down at the bottom of this video. You guys go check him out. Nice guys. Love Leighton to death. He's been watching me for a long time and talking to Sean a little bit. But what I do appreciate is the ammo. So go check him out there. Sean does some work on some handguns. Now he has not worked on my handguns, but I'm aware of some handguns he has worked on. He's done some good quality work. Go check him out, Front Range. It's going to be down there in the link. I really appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the ammo. That's what I'm really talking about. Again, no bullshit. Let's go. So, we're going to talk about some high powers today. We're going to talk about the original Browning high power, which Saeed finished up in 1935, the Pistole 35. We're going to talk about the Fabrique Nationale made in the United States high power. And we're going to talk about the Springfield SA-35. Why they call it the SA-35? Springfield 1935. But I've got all three of them laid out here, and we're going to look at some similarities and we're going to look at some differences. And then we're just going to share a little information with you. You guys make sure and give me some feedback. And you know, always click subscribe, click that ringy dingy out there, make some comments. If you make some nasty stuff, I'm just going to delete you. I'm not going to report you. I'm just going to delete you and tell you, you'll realize what I'm saying. Okay, let's pick up first an original Browning high power made in Belgium. Now you can tell right away that this was a quality made handgun back in the day. Now, it's blued. It's a metal gun. It's got nice shiny plastic grips on it. It's a nice looking handgun, serrations back here in the back, nice set of sights on it. I'm going to try to turn it. It's going to be hard to do this, so let me just bear with us because I want to try to do a good job so you fellas can get a good information in case you don't have one of these. In particular, if you don't have all three to look at. So we've got it smooth across the back strap, smooth across the front. This one here came with 2 magazines. Now, let's go look at the Fabrique. This was a Fabrique Nationale Belgian made. This is Fabrique Nationale American made. You can see there's considerable difference. Flat black. There's checkering in the front. There's checkering in the back. It's got black plastic grips, and it came with some brown plastic grips in case I wanted to change it. And I think that's just some cheap ass looking shit there. If you want to put brown ones on, give me some wood ones, okay? No, they're trying to kind of half-ass copy the original one, and with this part, I think they did a poor job. It did come with 2 magazines. Now let's move on down to the Springfield SA-35. Now, it does have some walnut pistol grips on it. It's still a flat black, matte black, no checkering, front or back of it, but it's a nice little handgun. Now, what I'd like to do is just kind of mix match. It's probably going to be hard to follow me, and the person running the camera here may be hard to follow me, and this might be a little bit longer video than what I'm used to, but I really want to do a good job. The original Browning high power. Very famous half the world has used it, or more than half the world has used it in different conflicts and stuff. But let's look at it. You can have one of these in relatively good shape, anywhere between, you might find one as low as $1,500 if somebody's in hard up, but you know, most of them are in good shape, are going to go $2,500 to $3,000. And let's look at it a little bit closer. We got some serrations right here on the back, really fine. Right here on the back, just fine. Now, you'll notice there is no ambi safety on it. I'm going to turn it around so you can see the safety on this side. You see the safety on this side? All right, now I'm going to turn it around one more time. You see the external extractor on this side? Right there. Now let's look at the hammer spur back here. And I'm going to pull this hammer back and you'll see it could potentially bite. Now that's interesting because this pistol was made 11 years. So in 1924, they changed the 1911 to resolve this hammer bite thing. 1924. In 1935, which is 11 years later, Saeed did not do this on his. He maintained that and kept it there. So anyway, it's still there, so you could get hammer bite. Now, of the three guns, the original Browning high power and the Springfield SA-35, I find to be the most similar. And if you look, they're relatively the same size, but I want to point out some differences here. This one right here does not have an ambidextrous safety. It does not have, no, I'm sorry, it does have an external extractor. But look at the hammer. It's rounded. It's different. It's not that cowboy action type hammer on it. It's rounded with a spur. Now, could it give me some bite? It potentially could give me some bite. So there's some similarities and differences between the original Browning high power and the Springfield 35. Now let's look at the sights. The sights, if you look at the back sights, they're significantly different. This has got a round looking sight, while this one's got a squared off looking sight. And then look at the front sights. The front sight on the original Browning high power is just a blade sight, but it's much taller to compensate for the different type of rear sight. And then the front sight on the Springfield 35, it's got the white dot on it. Now let's turn them around this way. I'm gonna point them at you, they're not loaded. Underneath the slides here, they're pretty much the same, aren't they? Pretty much the same. They're relatively the same. Neither one of them have checkering on the front. Neither one of them have checkering on the back. They're relatively the same. This one here, the original, if you look, I believe the ejection port may be a little bit bigger on the original Browning versus the Springfield. I believe it's a little bit bigger. Triggers, relatively the same. Very, very close handguns, very, very similar handguns, except in price. We're talking about an $800 handgun versus one for, could be several thousand handguns. Now, what I'm going to do now, since these two are so similar, I want to go back to the Fabrique Nationale, new one, made in the United States. And they've made, in my mind, some significant changes, which they're going to call improvements. And I'm going to say, maybe yes, maybe no. So let's just look at it. We do have the spurred hammer. We do have the beaver tail. We do have an ambi safety on it now. You see it here? But look where our extractor is. We have an internal extractor. It's not external. So they've switched, remember, same makers, from an external to an internal. Now they call these improvements, I don't know. Now, it is checkered on the back. It is checkered on the front. The shape of the handgun, it's a little bit larger. If you'll look, one of them's more rounded while one of them's more flat. And we're not even talking about the finish of the handgun. We're talking about one of them being rounded and one of them being flat. Now, there's something else that's significantly different here. We're going to lock the slide back and you can see, what's this right here? There's nothing sticking out there. We're gonna lock the slide back and looky there. So how different are the handguns? Considerably different. Are they the same handguns? Probably not. They're calling this improved. I'm not so sure that I call it improved as I would just different. Now, there are some things I like about all of them. I like the walnut grips on the Springfield. I like it. I like it that it's more like the original. I like that. I like that it's $800. The Fabric National is bigger, it's heavier, it's a little bit pricier. It's going to be $1,000 and some change. Do I like the improvements on it? You know, I don't know. It's got basically a 1911 mag catch release on it, which so does the original. No difference. I think cosmetic wise, if I'm looking cosmetics, this is the ugliest of the damn guns. It's also mid-range price. I think I would have preferred if they were going to go back and make a new Browning high power, or Fabric National would have made a new high power. I wish they would have stuck more with this blued type finish. They would have been okay to add the bigger safety. Let's turn around so you can look at the safeties. See how big the safety is on, see how big the safety is on this one here? And then look at the safety on this one here, much smaller. Yeah, look at the ejection port on the top of that. The newer model's got a huge ejection port based on this one. So, I'm not exactly sure the dates. I will say this. Fabric National, 1935 to the brand high power, 1935 to 2018, I think. They stopped production of them. I believe then Springfield Armory come out with the SA-35 after the Browning high power was discontinued by Fabric National, and then Fabric National comes out with their new high power. I believe that's right. These two are very close to coming out at the same time, but there is a significant difference in the new Fabric National high power versus the original Fabric National high power. My personal preference, I do like the big opening across the top, the big ejection port. The trigger, all the same, feel the same. The finish, definitely a blued handgun. It shows a little bit more. But you know, people don't want to buy these anymore. It's all about supply and demand. People don't want to buy these anymore. Why don't they want to buy these anymore? Because they can buy a freaking game controller, they can go buy a Glock. They don't want to pay good money for good stuff. They want to, we live in a disposable world. So it's not necessary to put a nice finish on this handgun and run the price up to $1,500, $2,000 when you'll go pay $300 or $400 for a Glock or something like a High Point or something. They'll say this cheap finish and you'll be perfectly happy with it because it's inexpensive. This is more quality, better finish. You know, both of these handguns, no serration. I may have pointed this out already. No serrations. No serrations. The new Fabric National serrations. Now, if I, let's just say if I were going to build mine, I would have went back to this. I would have made serrations on the front. I would have made serrations on the back. I would have kept the pistol grip. I would have enlarged the safety. And I might have put some different sights on it. Other than that, I'd have, well, maybe open the mag well a little bit. Other than that, I'd have left it just like it is. I'd have left it blue, and you'd have paid me for it. But I would have been proud of what I had. I wouldn't have been buying the $800 one. You know, if they would have just done this one in blue, it would have made a significant difference. It's almost identical. They're very, very close. Maybe that hammer is okay. Maybe the sights are okay. I like the walnut pistol grips. So let's go back and just add some serrations here. some serrations here, open up that port a little bit more like we did on this one, and I think between the three of them we would have a superior handgun. So basically we could have another model here that's got some of this, and some of this, and price it a little bit higher than these and still maintain a price cheaper than this. If you guys got any questions, please send them over. I'll respond to you as best as I can. I just wanted to be able to go look how similar and how different they were between the different three high powers. Now let's remember, high power is not big explosive high gun. It's not like 500 auto max or something. High power was just simply based on high capacity. That's why it was called a high power in 1935. So I think what we'll do is we'll go outside. The Springfield only came with one magazine. The Fabric National came with 2 magazines. The Browning high power came with 2 magazines. I'll run 1 magazine through each. I'll tell you what, let's do though. Let's just run real quick. I'm going to start on this end with the Springfield 35. And I'm just going to pull it one time and see. Let's do the trigger one time, make sure safety's off. And we're just going to see one time. 5.3. Let's see what the Fabric National high power runs. 5.1. Now we're going to see what the old Browning high power runs. Long. We got safety on. 6.1. So the old high power's got a little bit stiffer, stronger on it. No. Y'all sitting here watching this play. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take them out. We're going to run 1 magazine through each of you. Right now, if I'm picking based on budget, if I'm picking, I'm going to go back to the original. I just think it's pretty and worth collecting. If I ain't got the money, I'm going to buy the least expensive one. I don't see any reason to buy this one. I just don't see it. It's the most expensive one. It's the most from the original. And it's just, look at this, plastic ass crap. If this would have been a walnut finish, more like this one or this one, I think it would have been a more higher value gun. I do like the texture that none of the others have, but being as this is the most expensive one, I'd pass. Because I can buy one of these for almost what I can buy one of these. This is probably the best value. Let's go out and see how they actually go. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, we're moved out to the range now. What we're going to do, we're going to run 1 magazine apiece through each one of these high power handguns, and I'm going to kind of critique them a little bit as we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the original Browning high power. Original. I made a mistake inside too. I said this was plastic. These are walnut. The only plastic one we got is the new FN. So we got 1 magazine, 13 round capacity. The safety on it right here, sights are adjustable. So let's just have a go at it and see what happens. Got a stovepipe jam. Alright, now I am deliberately slowing down, trying to take my time. I want to get a feel for the trigger. I want to get a feel for the handgun. It's safe. You see how that trigger rocks back and forth? Not like a 1911. Smooth here, smooth. Nice trigger, feels good. Let's go on now. Let's move to the Springfield SA-35 or Pistola 35. Again, 13 round trigger rocks. We got the external extractor out here. The sights are not adjustable. Let's see how this one goes. I'm gonna get now, I'm gonna tell you right now, sights, much better sight with that white dot on it. Now, I can feel the handgun. If you'll look back here, I can feel it getting into the web of my hand. It's not a pinch, but I can feel it. Smooth, walnut. I like it, Let's move now to the new FN high power. Now this is a little bit bigger, and this is what FNs have got their improvements on. The sights are not adjustable. There's no white dot. There is no external extractor. But I'm gonna tell you, there's a couple things I just don't. Look at this safety, just jiggle. So when that safety comes on and off, it just doesn't feel like it's working good. I mean, I know it works. Let's just see. Cock it, put the safety on. But it's not, just look at that little jiggle in the safety. It's not got a good solid click, kind of flimsy like. Let's go ahead and try it and see. 17 rounds on this one. Put the safety off. Uh-oh. All right. Slide did lock back. All right. I'm gonna give you my opinion of the three. In which order would I buy these handguns? All right, the original high power, adjustable sights, walnut pistol grips, no checkering, just a plain sight, adjustable rear sight. FN, sights not adjustable, huge, sticks up real high, plastic pistol grips, flimsy ass safety. New Springfield SA-35, original size is the original one, 13 rounds, got a nice safety on it, and the sights are better. So, let's just suppose everything cost $1. My number one choice would be the Springfield SA. Then I would go to the original Browning, and falling in last place would be the Fabric National. It's bigger, it's heavier, you only get a couple more rounds, the safety sucks on it, and the sights suck. Plastic ass pistol grips. We also know things do not cost $1. So let's just put them in today's money. Knowing I have X to spend, and how would I spend the money? I would still start with the Springfield SA-35. I would still go with the Browning high power, and the FN would still come up last. I hope I've helped you guys. If you do have one, you'll agree or disagree, make some comments. If you have not had one, I hope this helps you get an idea of the differences and the similarities between them. Get out and shoot them before, borrow one from somebody if you're thinking about buying one. But always, protect that Second Amendment rights. So until we get to shoot together and shoot again, shoot safe and shoot straight.